What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another late night, another installment into the epics. Today, it's a blind watch, Stephen King adaptation. Stand By Me. Know absolutely nothing about this film, but I've heard it's really good. Without further ado, let's get straight into the film. Captain, we are a go. Hey, that's Richard Dreyfuss. He kind of reminds me of Bob Odenkirk for some odd reason.
I was 12 going on 13 the first time I saw a dead human being. It happened in the summer of 1959, a long time ago. But only if you measure in terms of years.
So it's probably still very fresh in his mind. Oh, look at that, they have their own clubhouse. As the 50s, well, it's almost transitioning into the 60s. And so at least now we know this kid survives whatever ordeal this whole film is about.
Didn't I just say I was French? I knock. 29. 22.
The cigarette pack, it disappeared, but pretty cool. 50s aesthetic.
Teddy Duchamp was the craziest guy we hung around with. He didn't have much of a chance in life. His dad was given to fits of rage. One time he held Teddy's ear to a stove and almost burned it off.
Oof. Sounds tough.
Chris Chambers was the leader of our gang and my best friend. He came from a bad family and everyone just knew he'd turn out bad, including Chris.
Kind of reminds me of Dean and Jack Kerouac's book On the Road.
Let me catch my breath. I ran all the way from my house.
I ran all the way home.
Come on, you guys.
They're not taking anything he's saying seriously.
I mean, if you tell your folks are gonna tent out my back field.
Yeah, I think so. Except my dad's kind of on a mean streak. You know, he's been drinking a lot lately.
You got you, man. Sincerely, you won't believe this.
Sincerely, you won't believe this.
You guys wanna go see a dead body?
Oh, that cut through the noise.
Vern had been trying to find those pennies for 9 months. 9 months, man. He didn't know whether to laugh or cry.
Kind of ironic in its comedy.
Yeah, don't go squawking to the cops after you boosted a car, you idiot. They're gonna want to know how the hell we got way out on Back Harlow Road. Now they know we don't got no car. It's best we just keep our mouths shut and then they can't touch us.
Look, we can make an ominous call.
They trace those calls, stupid. I seen it on Highway Patrol and on Dragnet.
What a beautiful shot. Just the voyeuristic angle. He's not supposed to hear this, but he is. It's dangerous.
Hey, you guys. I bet you anything that if we find him, we'll get our pictures in the paper. Yeah, we can even be on TV. Sure, we'll be heroes. Yeah.
I don't know.
I like that Teddy and Chris are agreeing with that. More than Gordie and Vern.
You tell your folks you're sleeping over at Teddy's. Then we say we're going over to the drag races the next day. We're rock solid till dinner tomorrow night.
A very good alibi.
Well, my dad'll hide me anyway, but hell, it's worth the hiding. Yeah, let's do it. What do you say? All right. Gordie.
Sure.
Vern?
It's worth the hiding.
Very, very cool, yes.
I wanted to share my friend's enthusiasm, but I couldn't. That summer at home, I had become the invisible boy.
Can't share the enthusiasm, so he probably had some suffering of his own.
In April, my older brother Dennis had been killed in a Jeep accident. 4 months had passed, but my parents still hadn't been able to put the pieces back together again.
I understand why you can't share in the enthusiasm.
And it looks good on you, too, just like that.
Hey, Mom, I'm going blind.
Hey, don't start with me, porcupine. Come here. Give me a hug.
Well, this makes it sort of sad because he seems like a model brother. He plays sports, he has a nice girlfriend, at least in the picture, and he's a great older brother.
Why can't you have friends like Denny's?
Dad, they're okay.
Sure they are. A thief and 2 Phoebes.
Chris isn't a thief.
He stole the milk money at school. He's a thief in my book.
Ah, Not the best impression, so let's see how this excursion even starts.
It was almost noon as we set out to find the body of a dead kid named Ray Brower.
Right here's cool.
Definitely Dean. My gosh. He literally carries nothing. It's like he has his home with him. With this single mat.
You want to be the Lone Ranger of the Cisco Kid.
Oh jeez. Better not be loaded.
Is it loaded? Hell no. What do you think I am? Jesus! Let's get out of here!
Well, they know now.
Hey, who did that? Who's letting cherry bombs off out here?
Would cherry bombs sound the same?
Yeah, I swear.
On your mother's name?
Yeah.
Even if she goes to hell because you lied?
Yeah, I swear.
Pinky swear.
This is a combination swear. This goes deep.
Hey, girls, where you going?
Hey, come on, man. My brother gave me that.
Now you're giving it to me.
Give it to me. Come on,
I'm
man.
assuming the
It's
brother would
mine.
have been with them, like sort of senior in their class.
Come on, man. Stop it. You're hurting him. Dude, let's go, man. Stop it, man.
Back,
Cut it out.
kid.
Oh. Cut it out.
Back.
That's rough on Chris. Ah, he's not even returning the hat.
Spooky sleeping out at night in the woods. You might see a bear. Or a garbage can.
Oh, they're joking about it now, but it's gonna cause something serious. And Kiefer Sutherland plays a good villain.
Did your mother ever have any kids that lived?
What do you mean?
Boy, this is a great shot, but it's a long, straight road.
Hey, I'm kind of hungry. Who's got the food?
Did anybody bring anything?
No, they're just joking. They're joking with Vern.
What am I supposed to do? Think of everything? I brought the comb.
Oh, great, you brought the comb. What do you need a comb for? You don't even have any hair.
I brought it for you guys. Hey.
He brought the comb. It was just that period of time, the zeitgeist.
Quita Cholos is at the end of that little road that goes by the junkyard. I think we can get some stuff there.
Train coming.
Gordie seems like the pragmatic one out of all of them.
I'm gonna dodge it. Come on, Teddy, man. Get off the tracks. You're crazy. Train dodge.
It's strange. I would have expected Chris to be the extreme one, except there's Teddy. Wow, the train, the locomotive sound just drowning out their argument.
I don't need no babysitter. I do too. Skin it.
This excursion is really going to test their friendship.
And if you gentlemen don't mind, I'd like to finish this game before I start collecting my Social Security, okay? You're up, Billy. Move it.
All right, give me this.
That's
Forced into vandalism.
A kid who had illegally scaled the junkyard fence might hear the dread cry, "Chopper, sick balls." But right now, neither the dread Chopper nor Milo was anywhere in sight.
Oh, they better hope so. But it's funny, Teddy is obviously, his outfit is kind of representative of how he's acting.
It looks like Lachance has got him this time. He's got Chambers beat. But what's this? Chambers is making his move. Lachance is fading on it. Chambers at the tape. The crowd goes wild.
I did not see this. Like, Chambers is the complete social one. He seems like the glue out of everyone.
Everything was there and around us. We knew exactly who we were and exactly where we were going. It was grand.
Yeah, well, at the time it seems grand at the moment, but in reality, they're wasting water. Do they even have enough provisions to go on?
Yeah, man, I'm not going. I'm not
going
all the way out
Girls, cool it. We'll flip for it. Okay.
Odd man goes.
That's you, Gordie. Out as a card.
Flippery.
Well, in this instance, that will be one justifiable way for self-defense using the gun is against Chopper.
You gonna flip or not?
Oh, it's gonna be Vern. Vern is gonna be going.
Gordie! Gordie loses. Oh, Gordie just the pooch.
Well, kind of makes sense, and he's the one narrating the story. But Teddy even has the dog tags.
Finding new and preferably disgusting ways to degrade a friend's mother was always held in high regard.
Wow. Well, now you just have knock-knock jokes.
Boy, could he throw. Father, God, and Sonny Jesus.
Yeah, what it must be like to lose a brother almost everybody sort of appreciate it and respect it.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Football takes concentration. You start in on the girls and his mind's all over the place. Dorothy, I don't know how many times I've told you when I make...
Jeez, didn't even acknowledge the story.
Do you play football?
No,
What do you do?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, your brother Denny Shaw could play football.
As if football was like the rite of passage.
Sick him, boy!
Now he said sick 'em boy, but what I heard was chopper sick balls.
And all his friends just happened to be outside on the opposite side of the gate.
Chopper was my first lesson in the vast difference between myth and reality.
Come on, Chubby. Kiss my Chubby. Kiss my Bite.
That's kind of true. I expected him to be a certain type of dog.
You call my dad a loony again, and I'll kill you.
Loony, loony, loony.
Ah! I'm gonna rip your head off and down your neck! Oh, Teddy, no! I'm gonna kill him!
Come on and
Oh,
try
man.
it, you little slut.
Well, his father was in Normandy, and he sort of has that type of rage as well.
I'll
You
kill
come back
you!
here. Come back here, you hear me?
Nobody wakes up well, man!
Come back here.
I don't know why, but I keep thinking Teddy seems like the martyr of the group to defend everybody's dignity.
He still stormed the beach at Normandy, right?
Yeah, forget it.
You think that pile of was at Normandy?
Forget it, all right?
You don't know nothing about your old man. He's just dog.
Wait, unless he's telling himself something his father didn't do.
A night without armor and a savage.
Well, I sort of get what Gordie was saying at the very beginning, his narration, how it's the only world he knew, and how there was a specific number for the population. It seems everybody knows each other's family.
You know, like all guts and eyeballs over to jump and grab.
Shut up, Vern, God!
Can't help it. Sorry.
Gordie sort of set the precedence. This is not a party, but yet they keep going.
I'll tell you how they're gonna find him. 10 years from now, some hunter's gonna go in the woods to take a leak, wind up pissing on his bones.
Or 4 kids are gonna find the body.
Hey, we're back here with the boss man, Bob Cormier. From the Racks and Stacks, it's the best on wax. It's the Cordettes with Lollipop.
Sort of just like American Graffiti, I like the fact that the radio is playing such a important sort of transition device between scenes.
You're gonna meet a lot of new guys. Smart guys. Meet a lot of is what you mean. No, man. Don't say that. Don't even think that. I'm not going in with a lot of Forget it. Well, then you're
He was Richard Dreyfuss in American Graffiti. You know, the guy who would make it out, and the other guy was John.
Superman is a real guy. No way a cartoon could beat up a real guy.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Would be a good fight, though.
It's funny seeing them sort of talk about topics their age, and then you go back to Chris and Gordie talking about, cigarettes, and the future, separating sort of more adult topics.
It's like God gave you something, man. All those stories that you can make up. And he said, this is what we got for you, kid. Try not to lose it. But kids lose everything unless there's someone there to look out for them. And if your parents are too up to do it, then maybe I should.
I mean, it's even what Gordie said earlier is like Teddy has somewhat of a reason to not like his father, but his father never, did anything to him until, well, maybe at 3 years old, but he has no reason to necessarily, aim low, if that's the word or the phrase.
That could take till dark. We go across here, we can get to the same place in 10 minutes.
Yeah, but if a train comes, there's nowhere to go.
Nowhere's to go but down. Yeah, well, that was the smart thing to do, see if there's any vibration, but they should be running, probably. Oh, his comb, his comb, his comb. Oh, the train is gonna come, for sure. For sure.
I lost the comb. Forget it, Vern.
It's almost like once they've crossed that bridge, they've sort of lost their childhood, or the notion of innocence, and that comb falling is a lot more significant than just it falling. Oh, the smoke. Whoa, brilliant shot. Wow, what a shot. Oh, they probably landed on Earth, but it was cool to see at least Teddy, also, root them to not die.
Vern, you were so scared you looked like that fat guy, Abbott Costello, when he saw the mummy.
I wasn't that scared. Come on. No, really, I wasn't. Sincerely.
Myths and legends, and now stories. This is just enough. This is great fodder for Gordie. It looks like he ends up being a writer and a storyteller. Oh, here we go. Here's dessert.
Boom, baba, boom, baba. Boom, baba, boom.
Okay, what is this revenge? And interesting that we're getting a story, a fictional story, become, sort of filmed. It's pretty interesting how we can sort of see inside Gordie's mind what he's visualizing. It's like they're bleeding from their face. Oh no, his revenge is he's gonna die. He's gonna kill himself.
What the audience didn't know was that Lardass wasn't really interested in winning. What he wanted was revenge.
He's gonna prove a point and make everybody guilty. Castor oil and egg yolk. I'm not so sure what that combination does.
A strange and scary sound, like a log truck coming at you at 100 miles an hour.
I like the sort of fictional type of sound effects that are being added in.
Kids barfed on their parents. A fat lady barfed in her purse. The Donnelly twins barfed on each other. And the women's auxiliary barfed all over the benevolent order
Okay,
of animals.
it's a lot more simpler than what I was thinking. Just nobody barfed on him.
Oh man, that was the best. Just the best.
Yeah. Then what happened?
What do you mean?
I mean, what happened?
I like that Chris just said that's the best without expecting any more.
That ending sucks. Why don't you make it so that Lardass goes home and he shoots his father, then he runs away and he joins the Texas Rangers. How about that?
I don't know.
That's what he wants.
Oh, great. Great story.
Yeah, it's a great story, Gordie. I just didn't like the ending.
Hey, Bruno, where's the radio? Let's see if we can get some sounds. Here.
It's peculiar the way each one of them sort of found the ending. Teddy was not happy with the way it ended. He wanted it to be his own way. Vern was overly obsessed with the specifics, although it did not really matter.
Maybe it's coyotes. Sounds like a woman screaming.
It's not coyotes. It's his ghost.
Oh, don't say that. Hey, Teddy, sit down.
I'm gonna go look for it. I want to see the ghost.
Don't say that.
I just want to see it. I just want to see what it looks like.
You want to see what it looks like. He immediately crumbles. But what Gordie said, his own sort of comparison, it sounds like a woman screaming. How does he know that? Like, is it because of the domestic life?
The dog faces rested easy in the knowledge that Corporal Teddy Duchamp was protecting all that was dear to them.
Teddy.
The gun is even a reflection of their character, how they would hold it, the type of responsibility they have with the gun.
Should have been you, Gordon.
Oof. Wow. Wow.
Go back to sleep.
Oh well. I'm not so sure if influence has anything to do with it, the type of friends you have, but sort of the phrase I'm getting to mind is boys don't cry. And the sort of pain, I guess, you have to bear. I'm not so sure if it's based on the time period where, fathers, sort of, even when he was speaking to his brother, football, and like the sort of human topics, relationships and so on and so forth were sort of cast aside, whether crying would even be sort of seen as something that's, shows strength and vulnerability, or is it, weakness?
Maybe I was sorry and I tried to give it back. You tried to give it back? Maybe. Just maybe.
And that, yet again, that's not what everybody knows about him.
And I could go someplace where nobody knows me.
I didn't expect this. It's very strange. It's not what I expected. Chris is able to cry about it because he kind of knows how much this is affecting his image and how he's sort of stuck, and why he would want Gordie to sort of, don't hang around us, don't have my image taint yours, and of the sorts, I guess.
The freight woke up the other guys, and it was on the tip of my tongue to tell them about the deer. But I didn't. That was the one thing I kept to myself.
It's funny, the deer was going towards the left side, and I always think the left side means home. That's where Innocence is.
With our stomachs rumbling, we pressed on toward the Royal River. The reality of Ray Brower was growing and kept us moving despite the heat. For me, the idea of seeing that kid's dead body was starting to become an obsession.
I would imagine as soon as they get to it, it would scare the life out of them. But it's interesting, we're not seeing the background portion of their parents sort of worrying where they are.
Hey, you guys, it's a lot safer if we,
For this one instance, I think Vern is right.
Ace, I gotta tell you something, but you gotta swear on your mother's good name that you won't tell anybody.
You got it, pal.
All those things with swearing, and they have to do it on their mothers.
By noon, Ace and Eyeball had told their secret to everybody in the gang. I guess for those guys, protecting their mother's good name wasn't a top priority.
They just couldn't hold it in.
You stated your position clearly. Now I'm gonna state mine. Get in the car. Now! Let's go.
Well, they have the same idea as the other four, Let's find it. We'll get some notoriety.
I suppose this is fun for you.
No, but this is.
Well, part of it seems sunny, but part of it seems really inappropriate.
Hey, where do you think it's going, Lachance? Yeah, Lachance.
Come on, you guys.
Well, as he mentioned before, this is no time for fun.
Vern, there's something on your neck.
Yeah, right. I'm not falling for that one, Lachance.
No, Vern, there is something on your neck.
It's a leech.
Oh boy, that's a huge leech.
You okay, Gordie?
literally leeches sucking blood out of their bodies. Their DNA, their innocence in their childhood is just being, it's vanishing the sooner they get to the body.
Even if no one had followed me, I would have gone on alone.
Take out the paper!
Kind of seems like each one of them probably have a reason that they don't know of as of now, but for Gordie, it probably has something to do with his brother passing, and there being something like, not being able to cry a tear for him. Perhaps this is a chance for him to...
Come on, man, don't fuck around! Come on, fall back, man! Die!
Wow, talk about fearless.
There he is! I see him! Look! Look, over there! I see him! I see him!
None of us could breathe. Somewhere under those bushes was the rest of Ray Brower.
Wow, they found him fast.
The kid wasn't sick. The kid wasn't sleeping. The kid was dead.
Well, a sobering reality for them all.
I'm no good. My dad said it. I'm no good. He doesn't know you.
Hard thing to be on a 13-year-old, well, going on 13-year-old's mind. Well, even comparatively to the others, his sort of, dealings with his father is a lot more mental.
We better start running, Eyeball. They got dibs.
We earned him, man. You guys came in a car. That's not fair. He's ours.
That's not fair.
Dibs on a body.
You're dead.
Come on, Chris, let's split.
Okay. Now let's see what's gonna happen. Bought a pocket knife to a gunfight.
Come on, kid. Just give me the gun before you take your foot off. You ain't got the sack to shoot a woodchuck.
No, don't tempt him.
Come on, Lachance. Give me the gun. You must have at least some of your brother's good sense.
Ooh. Words of provocation.
We're not gonna forget this if that's what you're thinking. This is big time, baby.
Mission success. The gun did its role. Intimidation. Proper threat.
We're supposed to be heroes. Not this way, Teddy. Chris, give me a hand.
Well, would you look at that? They actually are burying him properly.
Well, see you in school. Yeah.
As if anything can just go back to normal. See you in school.
Well, guys, I better get home before my mom puts me on 10 most wanted list.
He would want that, wouldn't he?
I heard that Vern got married out of high school, had 4 kids, and is now the forklift operator at the Arsenault lumberyard. Teddy tried several times to get into the army, but his eyes and his ear kept him out. Last I'd heard, he'd spent some time in jail and was now doing odd jobs around Castle Rock.
Wow, the fate of them two. But they shared those 2 days in common.
Chris did get out. He enrolled in the college courses with me, and although it was hard, he gutted it out like he always did. He went on to college and eventually became a lawyer. Last week, he entered a fast food restaurant.
Ah, that was the newspaper.
2 men got into an argument. One of them pulled a knife. Chris, who had always made the best piece, tried to break it up. He was stabbed in the throat. He died almost instantly.
Ha. All that just is that ending. I don't like that ending. I share with Teddy. I don't like that ending.
Yeah, we've been ready for an hour.
Okay, I'll be right there.
You said that a half hour ago. Yeah, my dad's ready.
He's gonna change the ending. He's gonna change it. Okay. He just stated it as it was. And I like, again, when he was looking into the computer, looked directly at us.
No, I won't.
Wow. Life just went on. But at least he had time to reflect on it. Thoughts? This was perhaps, out of all the Stephen King films I have seen that I do remember, this is among one of his best ones. Very quiet, not really at all horror related. A lot more, sort of a story about its time. The age of innocence in the 50s, kind of moving into the 60s. Castle Rock in itself, and sort of the intricacies of your upbringing, how their parents, the jokes that were recycled throughout everyone, and how you almost got one leg up if you made a better joke over the parents, and how sort of none of them really had model parents. They had to make it out themselves. They had to make a way for themselves. And perhaps one of the ways to do that was to stand by each other as friends, and how much, it's sort of meant to each other for them to be there with one another. Vern and Teddy being sort of, I guess, more Teddy being the Lone Ranger, and his ultimate fate, sort of the sins of the father, do they beset on the current generation, and how the children had the power to override that, to write their own destiny. And certainly, as we can see, Gordie being very different compared to his father, and sort of his introspection on this whole telling of the story. We don't know. Maybe, because he's narrating it. We're not seeing his narration compared to the facts. We're seeing his narration, how he is, either writing the story. So, did we necessarily see the true story? Well, the newspaper kind of already verifies the fact that it is going according to reality. So that's one thing that's pretty interesting. But I like the fact that, we touched on Gordie sort of telling his own story, and how the one narrating the story is a storyteller. And sort of he makes it to the end, and being an author certainly adds an interesting dynamic to the whole film, as in a layered film. But other than that, I really enjoyed the performances, particularly River Phoenix as Chris Chambers, and how he just reminded me of two specific characters, one in Kerouac's book and the other one in American Graffiti. Sort of this character who was very, very similarly dressed, sort of is the sacrifice in terms of I'll stand by you until you go. Also very much like Good Will Hunting in Ben Affleck's character. I don't want to see you here again. That will be the best day of my life, as if I never see you again. Go out there. You have something we don't, and don't you dare squander it. And sort of the ending, like the call to mission was, there would be a medal, there will be credit to your name, but Gordie sort of having unresolved sort of a moment to lament over his brother gave him the clear-headedness to say, you know what, this is the right thing to do. Let's give this poor boy the proper send off that he needs. And they all followed suit, and it's something that they all can. It all stuck to them. Even though they might have departed. We see years later, Gordie sort of reflects, these are the friends that stood by him, or when they were being led to something that would forever mark them, seeing a dead body. And no easy feat, but they stood by him, and it makes that transition from 12 to 13 a transition period, sort of like 1959 to 1960, a transition period. And so there's a lot of elements that sort of would require reflection upon watching this film, because Stephen King, he's a very well written author, and I don't suppose he just writes this without multiple layers of thought. So that was pretty interesting. But if there was anything that I missed, anything you can sort of correct me on or add in addition to this experience, I would definitely love to read about it. Do write in the comment section below. But other than that, I'll catch you in the next film. This was a great blind watch, very enjoyable. But until next time, enjoy cinema and keep on smiling, my friend. What's up, you cinephiles? Thank you very much for making it to the very end. Me and Big Willie don't take that for granted. We really appreciate you. Now, if you would like to show your support to us, you know what you can do up here. You can smash that button, really just smash it. And if you would like to check out some more content, they're all curated by days up over here and playlists. So, you know what? We hope you're having a great day. Don't crumble and just continue to smile and be a good bastion of cinema.